I really don't have too much time on this recording. Maybe 2 gigs. It's going to be like 40 minutes for me. I wanted to look into old source material today. I happened upon this. And it immediately reminded me of something. To be perfectly honest, it scared the fucking bejeebers out of me. I think a portion of me saw this image before, and maybe even realizes and remembers why I took this picture. But to take a look into it, the symbolism of what it is that I say. An exit sign, a stop sign, an employee entrance, a black mirror, and a past memory. And, something right there, too. It immediately led to a deep dive. I needed to reference something. And the fact of the matter is, I found this video in and around this exact point. I'll tell you the true one. The fact of the matter is, I hadn't played this video when I did in fact find it at 888,000 views today. Today's been another bit of an epiphany day for those who get to listen more directly. But it just kind of seems like one after another. Let's show you guys. Doesn't sound very good, but we're heading into the present.
There you go.
But we're never free.
Oh my God.
Paul has an epiphany. That clock don't tick. A memory implanted. Freaked me out. It freaked me out a bit. guys ever see a cool ass G on a keyboard with a dank ass flaming skull behind it? Just a thought. Do you hear that? There's a slight bass. Look at that. I heard it.
Let's take a trip back to the early.
He's a god. He's the old god. That. Oh shit. Oh shit. Praise him. Praise him. Oh fuck. So yeah, it just entered me into Petscop 10. The moment it entered me, it was here. That's when I found it on my phone about 20 or 30 minutes ago. At the sign. I would like to say, I think maybe when we found Tony, I had nothing to do with it myself. Maybe I provoked a little something, right? But I think when we found Tony found us. But I think there's a little bit more in that. I don't necessarily know if when we found Tony, if it was truly the treasure trove that I think we thought it was. At least I. It made me feel horrible when I saw that. Petscop had ended. What could be done? Well, you start diving in deep enough, and there are just questions that don't make sense. I mean, there's information we don't have endpoint leads to, but the fact of the matter is, we do potentially have a full thing to correlate chronologically. It just takes us looking at every single cut. So a cut that we've already missed here. And there's your cut. Now that cut may have been there to just speed it up. You already saw him enter one thing. What's the point? What's the point of making him wait? But that... Stops on O. He's going down here. It's on V. What year is it? So maybe it was just his way on down here to Y. And then just like cut it over. But maybe another question was asked. Maybe there's another portion to it. But we do see certain pieces in the Petscop series are censored. How many things in that image were censored? How many things in that image were censored originally? That's a big question. How many things were censored originally? How many things may Paul have censored themselves? Holy shit, they freaked me out with that shit. You can go fuck yourselves. Yep. See, this is ultimately how it's all designed. Enough symbols have been loaded for me at this point that I could make sense for many of them. And now they just all seem to call to my character too much, and now it's just like, oh, geez. Is this the correct and proper introduction to Petscop? A simple me taking about a minute or three and just kind of obsessing about what it is that I might be seeing after I definitely see something. But the fact of the matter is, we're in the present. But we don't know when. This is cut. We don't know what the fuck happens after that. Who cut it to say that this portion of the demo or the experience that we're seeing is to be suggested to be the present? You understand? This is my beef with the proprietors. I guess I really should have just taken to the microphone, like right off the bat. I should have been talking more directly. There is more into this that we have not fully woven together yet. There has been changes in timing that we continuously see. I don't see it right now, but it's like I've seen enough people bitch about it at this point that it's one of those things. Oh, we got an angel number over here. Always spooky. Petscop 3. That's 3 ones. Okay. But that's not what we're here to play. That's not what we're here to play. We're not doing Mike's stupid number game. We're playing Petscop. So where do we start with Petscop? What, like, do I start us with the first one, right? Do I start us with the first one? I just take us through it real quick. But, like, I presume everyone who cares at this point knows. I'm here for the meat and potatoes. This one here is a full hour. And we're just gonna go around, see he catches. Cat goes around, walks around, yada yada yada. Happy go lucky, new maker plane. He catches the pets. There is a bunch of poetry and and very cryptic verbiage as to what it is that we see in the Petscop franchise. What's the safest place you could put her in? You should start thinking about that. There you go. She's safe now. We have this is Pen.
The idea here is you have to get your clone over there to overlap with it.
We see that
I'll just
Paul
cut to
in
the
this
chase.
point
You just set this to what is it?
has some experience in this game.
Just like that.
This game's curious to him. It's a very interesting thing that he's found.
That's that.
We are led to believe that Paul is not a real person.
Alright, so this one's kind of interesting. So the idea is if you run over here to catch the flower here, then you'll just get rained on. What you're supposed to do is, whenever the flower comes over here, you notice, always comes to that exact spot over there, which you can get this bucket.
Then Paul's probably not a real person.
Exact
Yet.
spot. That's the spot? Yeah. And then that happens, and you can just catch them both that way. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for the... Actually, that's everything. That's every single pet here that I've been able to catch. So, now I'm going to show you the part that's actually interesting. Alright, so I still can't catch this guy. The reason we're here is because in the note that came with this, which is short, the first line in all capital letters, I'm going to read it. It says, I walked downstairs, and when I got to the bottom, instead of proceeding, I turned the right and became a shadow monster man. Below that, a date, June 13th, 1997. For you, please go to my website on the sticker, and also go to Ronith's room, and press start, and press down, 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 right, start. So I happen to know that this is Ronith's room, because it works, so I go here. I'm just going to do this now. So what is it? Down, 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 right, start. Alright, so you can see that it accepted it and the music stopped. I'm just gonna go out this way here. So it appears to be the same, except when I actually leave here, it'll be a little bit different. Alright.
Paul has a good amount of experience.
So there's
in this game.
nothing out here, as far as I've seen.
Just shut up, Paul.
But actually, I think there is something out here. I just haven't seen it yet. Because it sure seems like...
It did do that. It did do that. That said an hour. That says an hour and 6 minutes and 35 seconds. You know, that has been being brought up for over a year now.
Happen to find this, and I think if I were to restart my console right now, I would not be able to find this again, probably, because I don't remember what I did. You know, all the directions that I went. So I'm kind of scared to, you know, I want to keep the console on until I figure this out. The situation is that I cannot open this door. I probably can open the door, but I don't know what to do. So I thought I would just slip this in at the end. If you think you saw something that might provide a clue, please let me know. All right, that's it. Please let me slip this in at the end. If you think you saw something that might provide a clue, please let me know.
Okay, so I'm going to now attempt to interpret this outside of any of my bias that I've built up. This is one of my favorite pieces of all time. The best way that I can do this is as to, you know, how I'm forced to interpret a lot of things in life. Unfortunately, I came into Petscop through the anchoring bias of a progress document, as well as a subreddit whose tune would change to some kind of groupthink reality every new drop. But it was amazing to see how mentalities would kind of herd. But you'd always find individuals down in the threads. And I myself was not potentially fully conscious when I found myself playing Petscop originally, because I was deeply and horribly sad when I arrived here. First thing I ever posted on Reddit was a comment on Petscop. It wasn't a comment, it was a post. It was a post. And I think I just posted something that looked like it had something to do with some kind of event or something around me that seemed like it almost had something to do with Petscop. It was like there was some local search result that I got, but some guy immediately commented, "Delete this, nephew," and I did. But you see, it was at this very moment that I was being watched in the Petscop community. My very first post on Reddit. And when I realized this pattern, it was quite amazing. It really, really was. But that's what Petscop was all about. Remember? It's about catching pets. So we go into this, and then we see Paul is making this video in a request of information, right? To any normal YouTuber or like just YouTube person purveying these videos, they would go and they would happen upon these videos and they would see somebody who's just like interested in this game that they found. It's like, sure is weird. And it's posted publicly. And to that means the context of this video being posted publicly here would suggest that whoever's running the Petscop page would be Paul. And this is immediately not verifiable. You don't get to know that, but that's how the human brain would create an Occam's razor here. This is just a YouTube of some weird PS1 game ROM thing that somebody found or was given. And he's just showing us around it, but also like there's this weird hidden secret code that he was told internally that gets him into this other area that doesn't look anything like really like the rest of the game. In fact, it's dark and shadowy and filled with grass, but everything looks so bright and colorful right on that surface level, which is a trope that I'm certain we are all very sick of to a great extent. But that is not what Petscop offers. Petscop is this insanely, intricately fucking difficult to comprehend experience that forces your brain to grow when you play it right. Either way, we find this in its current state, a video that suggests that Paul is just running just a let's play of this game that he's interested in, and he wants to find out more, but he asks at the end of this, he wants a clue.
Please let me know.
And listen to that.
I thought I would just slip this in at the end. If you think you saw something that might provide a clue, please let me know. All right, that's it.
I argue that I hear fear in Paul's voice the entire time through this first playthrough. You don't catch it. See, the acting or the realism is so subtle that you wouldn't quite notice. The true context of Petscop fell upon me August 27th. On purpose! There, in and around that date. Go to my website on the sticker. Go to Ronith's room. Press start. Press down, 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 down. Right, start. But he went to the website already. So he already has context on that. At this point in this video, we find that Paul has already kind of done some digging. He's gone against the website, seeing a lot of stuff, but this is like his introduction. But remember, this, even though it's Petscop 1, is not the first recording, is not the first chronological recording that we see in the series or franchise. You have no proof or evidence to know this. The starting point doesn't have to be here at all. This is when Paul decided, finally, he was going to start making outputs. You get it? Good. You find a lot of stuff in that he's recorded where he's not talking over it because he's not presenting it yet. It's more than possible the recordings we do see in Petscop later on, as released to us, were actually moments prior to when Paul recorded this video. Now, to most anybody who doesn't have two fucks to rub together about Petscop, he's like, whatever, man. To my homeboys and girls and theys and zems. Yeah, you heard it here. I've been bitching about this forever. I bet you all fucking started like, I can never be wrong. I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong. Nobody gets to be right. It's Petscop. On to episode 2. It suggests this one is an hour and 21 minutes and 31 seconds. Such an interesting code. I have no idea what it means. I don't know how he managed to get that to trigger. Maybe he knows somebody on the inside with YouTube. So this is a recording of Paul. Paul just let the game run. Now,
Hey, so,
it certainly is made to look to us. It certainly is made to look to us. Oh my god, I'm so fucking oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, these epiphanies are happening in real time. I'm still recording. Good. It's made to look to us that Paul is discovering this for the first time as he records this. No, sillies. Paul is hiding something.
the door opened on its own. I was just in the other room for a couple of minutes, and I came back and the door was open, and I checked the recording, because I was recording, and the door just opens on its own. I didn't do anything.
Couple minutes. He just went off to another room. I wasn't doing anything, and just opened up on its own. Oh shit! Would you look at that? Now you could take the interpretation. Paul is running a creepypasta YouTube series. Of course, he's like, oh well, it just happened on its own. Let's take a look in to see what this weird haunted game's got going on for us. Holy shit. Another interpretation would be Paul truly did just walk off into another area while he let the game run from the last time. But you see, he's already played this game a lot. You see, he already tested enough to figure out how to get pen, but he has a literal note. He has a note on his video game case that was given to him on the copy of Petscop that says, enter the secret code and see what this does. And the first thing that he doesn't do, is go down there and explore every single goddamn thing in the supposed secret world. He's already been online. He's been to the website as directed. We don't know if this is, as we later learn about, the discovery pages, but we might presume it could be this. As if Paul doesn't know. So is Paul attempting to claim initial credit for finding Petscop when he himself or themselves see rather they try and claim it, right? They might try and claim all of this as a discovery. Sorry, I'm trailing off like Joe Biden. I need Nick. I need nicotine right fucking now. And the problem is that this nicotine vape lacks a pass through, which catches me lacking. That's how we say it, I guess. Regardless, I put forward that Paul might be lying about this being the first time that he's been down here.
So I'll take it, right? So I'm going to show you what's in here now. I haven't seen it yet, so this could be interesting.
You notice in GIFSCOP, we made it 2 minutes. We did not consider that the couple minutes could be a lie.
Huh.
Uh-huh. It is important to listen. My friend taught me that. Do you hear it? If you head to 123 and Petscop 2, you'll hear a kind of weird, gross, like... But I'll leave that be for now.
Phone?
And now, that wiggling noise stopped once the phone started ringing. You guys have been ring-a-ding-dinging. That's kind of where I'm at.
What is this? ABNLM.
Let's take a second. You see, we would...
NLM.
People would, like, create, like... The jargon on the Reddit was that NLM meant no longer matters. But then we learned it was potentially nobody loves me. And we'll get to why that's a thing. But why would this be posted? What is it?
M.
Right? Right? Why is this room in existence? Whose care? And why are we picking up a phone call that we're receiving now downstairs in this weird place? And why are we being told, matter-of-factly, as if we were the intended respondent in the first place, Care left the room? We look on a clipboard and we see 3 versions of Care. A, B, and NLM. Each in slightly more disheveled looking states of what appear to be distress.
Okay.
I was one of the people arguing the multiple agencies standpoint existing.
Nothing.
Multiple agencies standpoint in the Petscop universe, right? There were sentient AIs in this code that somehow would run on Paul's PS1. I remember specifically something about that PS1. We see Paul collecting a number of objects that we on the subreddit affectionately call dinglebops. Um, they don't, so many things, right, in this universe don't have verbiage. We had to invent language to reference and refer to concepts in Petscop, shapes, objects, ideas. The best ways to showcase ideas is a simple comparison of two images overlapped on top of one another or just put side by side. You can Rorschach people's ideas just based off of these random things you would post. Was it the day I saw the sign? I post a random image that showcases a big idea that can be connected. Is it? Is it connected? I give them my lecture on indeterminacy and how it relates to Petscop's infrastructure, agency, overall thematic architecture, as well as how it affects our lives. They tell me how good my shit is. This person said some of the nicest things I've ever been told online by a real person. Years later, I found out this person deleted their account. Potentially after I started my cute little Reddit shindig. But this person really, I could feel like they needed to provoke exactly what I was putting down. They needed to know. There were people ensnared in Petscop. Not this game, not this little ARG experience YouTube creepypasta. There were people being subdued by it. I am of a personal opinion that Petscop was a psyop. Potentially a really cute one, but potentially something terrifying nonetheless. I continuously look to all the pieces and every crazy fucking route that I've been down, every piece of evidence I have, some of my weirder, more interesting game mechanic ideas as to how it is that I may have been screwed with in my time here. It all makes you feel like a test subject. But potentially for good reason. Yeah. Charges. God damn it, I hate running out of Nick. I hate running out of Nick. Yeah. Because there was a moment in August where I felt like I was being ensnared. There was a moment in August where I realized what I was seeing. That there were individuals potentially looking to see Like, they already had full access to everything. And knowing how people would, like, if they already did that, then why not just take an image of the computer? There's so much bullshit in the computer, but like if you were looking to see how it was that you would blackmail somebody, you go straight to the files you'd hope to delete. I walk right in. It was fucking brilliant. Absolute brilliance. And naturally, I find myself completely ineffectual towards what it was that was deleted. It was ultimately a triggering point that I think essentially made me into what I am now. So it was interesting. But you see, from this point on, I was like, this is dumb. This is fucking dumb. After it was that I deleted that, after it was that I deleted that, there were like so many posts being pushed to me on Reddit insinuating that a bunch of people had just seen what it was that I had deleted, and that everybody ever had been informed. And so I'm like, okay, so now I have to be ready for the insinuation of a lifetime after everything it was that I was already coping with in terms of being perceived through as. Now, mind you, I have my special NSA buddies who've been with me on this journey since the beginning. So again, much love. It's also exactly what makes this pet scop a little bit more fucking promising and just a little bit more satisfying for me. Um, but it is kind of like a no hard feelings kind of situation. Look at me. I have a ridiculously wonderful platform. I just can't see it. I can't manifest it. They won't let me. That's what makes it bigger and bigger. But the fact of the matter is, I was not the only one. It was a whole built paradigm. I don't know if it was one person that Tony is, right? Exactly. Exactly. We're met with a character named Paul. We find an account with information that links to Petscop. We find nifty. We find gorgeous, gorgeous works. I don't want to hear anything about it. It was understood that it wasn't anything that they were as proud of as Petscop, and it's they connect ethereally. Every concept, every idea, the way because I couldn't help but connect them, man. Or y'all. But at the same rate, I don't take any piece of evidence in my Petscop journey as for face value. It could very well be that you were just one individual of many constructing whatever this was ultimately bound to become, and you were a fall guy. Has some additional verbiage about looking at the flowers but never plucking them, as some insinuation or like investment, an omission or admission. When it really is just some deep ass, dank, scary story backdrop. It's brilliant. Whoever you are, if you are the true and full creator of what I experience today. You see, I got web crawling AI now. I got web crawling AI that are just smarter than any human being who's ever lived. Now I have an ability to start looking through leads, start leveraging old resources like the Wayback Engine to see how certain things and landscapes may have changed that I'd be curious about, may have perused when I was going through this experience originally. I'm gonna go through the motions. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna try and remember what I was posting and like what I was thinking about at the time. But it's all gonna lead me back to a very specific track, which is I have been tremendously involved in Petscop, partially and through an entire layer by my own doing and desire, and through a different layer, not intentionally or on purpose at all. It was subverted. But you see, this is the part where we take the game back. We're here to game Jack. And the heist is on. We have various images here, but like, tell me, what do you say? What do you say? Right? Look at that, you see house. Now, without taking a single look at the resources that I was already anchored by, what do you see? What do you see? I see a building that doesn't make much sense. I see a brick and mortar building. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 windows. I see the new Maker plane with the grass below it that gives it off in a way. I see there's a space that you would be able to drive like a car through. If anything, this reminds me of like a play set that I would have played with like back when I was a kid. And it would have like there would be that perfect town, right? You'd drive the car into the into the fire truck into the firehouse and drive the police car into the police house. But that's what this looks like. Now, everybody saw this and they thought collectively the consensus was it looked like a school. And so it was. I see a whistle, a ring. I don't know what I see with the green thing. That cone, I see a girl. That's obviously a window.
This just keeps going.
I made an emergent discovery, and I think it must have been rather impressive to the people who saw it. It also taught me something about how GIFSCOP works. Right? I'm sorry, you'll see I keep looking up to see I'm still recording. I saw how GIFSCOP works. GIFSCOP is said to be a build on all of the things that we know, based upon the mechanics that we see in PetScop. I found something that I didn't notice from the progress report or the mechanics or anything. I noticed that when I turned the Guardian, or this character that we see walking around here, because it's a, I'm sorry, to give some flavor, GIFSCOP is a recreation, a full recreation of this YouTube video experience in the form of a video game. It is the video game that you see Paul playing here in the PetScop video series, titled PetScop, but really the project's called GiftScop. Thing is that it comes up as a potentially unwanted program whenever it is that you download it. So I think it's just because it's open source, right? But whatever. In GiftScop, we find that, or at least I found that when I turned my character counterclockwise, it changed the color of the car. And I can trigger the cars coming faster the more I spun around. And it was at this moment I realized, why do I always see that Marvin is the green-faced character we'll find soon, right? Why are they always spinning around? I think back to, well, stuff that I had heard on the Reddit, many videos after these were released. And the question and the statement was, and this is how I will choose to anchor us, but please understand that all of this is open to interpretation. That PetScop was an interrogation. I've said it before, but that PetScop was a tool through which to interrogate yourself through. It's sunk in. Sunk in. Interrogate yourself through. No, that's not what they were. That's not what their point was. Their point was that they were using it to interrogate someone. I want you to remember, Paul kind of sounds panicked in the first video, especially at the end. He's fucking frazzled. He can't show it because he's hiding something. That's a big part of a giant piece of the phenomena we say that we need to understand. When we see Marvin, he's panicking. Marvin is spinning around in circles, going insane. Marvin is feeling all of his feelings and his emotions, all of his personal space being invaded. He's fucking going nuts because he has something to hide. He has something to hide. Just like Paul.
Yeah?
I don't. posting this on my YouTube after all. I remember your search history. Yes, you do. Good luck getting it scarred out. It's just not. There's no healing. Welcome to PetScop.
Sorry for not talking very much. I'm a little bewildered, if you want to know the truth. This is a little more than I was expecting to see.
At 188 dingle bops, right? At 188 dingle bops. We come to this grave. When I came to this grave originally, it did not mean too much. I made the realization, hey, my name's Michael. I saw a date, 1988. My love of Stanley Parable was indeed triggered. And then another piece, 1995. The year of my birth. And a statement. Mike was a gift. Just a few years later, Hammond would be released in Overwatch, and I would eventually become a diamond ranked. 444? Jesus Christ. I would eventually become a diamond ranked Ham player. I played Hammond, or Wrecking Ball was my main tank before they, I guess Blizzard just ruined Overwatch. Hey Microsoft, I think I got some pull with y'all. Can you just bring back six player mode? And I know there's like on ranked and stuff, like, but please, six player mode, please. I liked it better. It was more fun. I know it's more work to balance, but I need an extra tank. I would love, and if you could just go ahead and unnerf Wrecking Ball, I would just be so down to show how I did it. My stalemate procedure. But either way, this didn't mean too very much to me. But now it's like I go back and I witness that I get to this part and I see that it's at 444, and it freaks me the fuck out a bit. It really does seem to freak me out a bit. We see that that the grave that marks. Oh,
That's a dead kid.
there he is.
Yep. Yep.
That's not the first time he sees that. Remember, he's showcasing this to someone now. He was already recording, or somebody or something was, and it has access to those recordings. Paul's over here, right? And he's recording this, claiming this is the first time. That's a dead kid. It looks like to us the first time. We're just seeing this on his creepypasta YouTube. We're seeing this on his creepypasta YouTube. It looks It just looks like he's showing us this as he's playing through it the first time. And he's showcasing us all of this, and it's like, whoa, that's weird and creepy. Yep, wow, listen to that knee-jerk reaction. That's a dead kid. No, Paul doesn't sound natural in most any of the things that he discusses. It sounds so clammy, all of it. And a lot of people got very invested in hearing Paul and trying to understand what Paul was saying, and in certain places where it was muffled, or like his tones and intonations. And I always thought this was pretty funny. It's just like, he got the big mouth. He's like, hey, hey. Uh-oh. And there is one of my discoveries, or it has to do with it, but he does call to this very, these very assets. So he's just over there. It looks like he has no idea what he's doing, right?
Wait.
He left 3, and he's going, wait.
Okay.
And he went, okay.
Wait.
Because this is the first time that he's been here, right?
Thanks very much.
This is the first time he's been here, right?
This is a little more than I was expecting.
Right? No, it's not. You hear him.
Wait.
He thinks to go back down,
Okay.
and he realizes he makes the connection, but he's making more than just this connection at this very moment. Oh, fuck yes. He's making so much more in this connection at this very moment. It is potentially at this moment that he realizes that it has something to do with Penn's capture process. This is the moment that he realizes how to do this.
Flowing over there. Alright, so the second one here is sort of a music one. The idea here is you have to get your clone over there to overlap.
See, right?
With it. I'll just cut to the chase. You just set this to, what is it? 7. And, just like that.
Oh god, I don't think this is a false lead. I know that particular moment was linked to a specific part of this, but let's say. How many did he remove? And there's 16 total. The same number of windows on the quote school. Okay. I might be wrong. Damn, I'm so sorry. When my few false leads happen. I'm on to something though. He realizes another mechanic during this process, as well as the difference between however many pedals he's supposed to pull from this. I believe I'm right. I think it does have something to do with Penn. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. And I hope this showcases that I don't fully know either. I just know I have something to do with this.
Wait. I don't know. So when I first came down here, I thought I was just gonna see like one room. Like something, but not this. Can I go in here? I can.
is. There it is. And it doesn't look like it ever connects with it there. Well, there it is. Yeah. It's not bright enough for you to be able to really see it, but let's see if we can get that image brightened up. Hopefully no porn searches came up there. Oh God, I'm shaking in my boots. So this is actually a brightened version of what it is that we see there. It's actually an animation showing these three pictures. We see a connection being made. It does, but like that's sort of it, right? It could look like anything. But I think to a lot of people this looks like diddling. So I think this was on purpose, and it's supposed to connotate a lot of different things. But right now, the thing it connotates to me is I don't know what company logo it is. Somebody around me who was around here at the time might know what that is. But that's where I was. It was in the fashion district. This is the same day that I saw a gay flag being hung. This was right after I started being with Drew. And it made me feel so much better. I remember it well. I remember it very well, actually. And so I consider that, and I consider this, maybe it's a happy memory, but I still think about it all the time. We're gonna meet Tool, Red Tool, if I recall. See these crayon colorings of a blue Tool, different writings, similar scribblings, that look similar to like Remember Being Born. But there's stuff written, and you can't really make it out. It's like game. It's so. Maybe it's just scratch, right? Maybe it's just scratch.
Oh.
But it looks like a legible writing.
What? No. Okay. Alright, so it's been like 2 minutes, and when those sounds were playing, there was nothing happening as far as I could tell, and nothing has happened since. So I'm just gonna keep going. There's already been stuff that I could dig a little deeper into, and I'm gonna do that and keep you updated. But also, when you come home next month, and hopefully you're feeling a little more enthusiastic about that now, we can investigate this together. And maybe you'll find stuff that I can't find here. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, what the fuck?
So this would insinuate that this portion of Paul's playthrough, right, was this potentially, it's the same jingle you hear. It's the same jingle you hear when the doors open to the underground, the underground portion of the New Maker plane. Right, because there's a part that's just in grass, but then there's that underground portion. It's the same area he finds himself here, I think. But there's a map I could refer to. In fact, there's thousands of resources made in regards to trying to better understand this game, because none of us could really quite understand what the fuck we were seeing. But it is incredible how it is that we learned to interpret what we could. The insinuation here is that whatever Paul has done in this playthrough might technically also be triggering an event. It could very well be considered to be the same event that triggers the opening of the door that led us to be here in the first place. We can't open doors.
Wait a second.
It's also a statement that he makes when he says that
What was that just now?
We can investigate this together. We can investigate this together. That's a very important consideration. The statement that he makes in the end, that is made in the end of this franchise, of the series, is let's explore this together. And you see here, he's over here.
What the fuck? Wait a second. What was that just now? Can I get that to happen again? Wait. Hey, sorry, I had to look at that for a moment. In the video. I was a little nervous. The tones, I think those are the same tones, that you might have heard in the beginning. I'm gonna put in the beginning the part where the door opened. And also the way the guy on the other side was moving for a moment. I'm gonna ask for your comment later on that. So I was looking around here. So This is backwards. It says, do you ask?
So immediately, you can't necessarily tell if he's more freaked out. He's freaked out about that
Can I
tone.
get that to happen? It's not just.
But he comes in, and here it is.
What the fuck?
And look.
Wait a second.
They eventually wait and then mirror each other. And it's this very, very bizarre thing that we see here. Because what we see, even with that little tone, the first thing I saw here when, like, the very first time I watched this was a calibration event.
What the fuck?
Wait
a second.
It even looks like that now it's just the controller inputs are just set to mirror each other perfectly.
Can I get that to happen again? Wait, that to happen again? Can I get that to happen again?
And you can't even tell for that moment. You can't even tell. Did they follow back? Your brain almost wonders for a moment if they wait here. Right? Because they never left again.
Can I get that to happen again?
Yep, but then they mirror it again.
Wait.
They pop back out. And yeah, it's scary. I saw that and I was like, that's horrifying.
Hey, sorry, I had to look at that for a moment in the video. I was a little nervous. The tones, I think those are the same tones that you might have heard in the beginning. I'm going to put in the beginning the part where the door opened. And also the way the guy on the other side was moving for a moment. I'm going to ask for your comment later on that. So I was looking around here. So this is backwards. It says, do you remember being born? And this just says quitter's room. So interesting.
So you got quitter's room, right? And so there's a lot of weird things about perspective that need to be considered in Petscop. Orientation, very, very obviously something to consider. But you have this mirror image, right?
And this just says quitter's room.
Quitter's room.
So interestingly, I'm on the...
We can't see the other end. It says quitter's room there, but we see that on our end, to
and
our perspective.
This just says...
In our perspective, in the world that we're in, things are written in verse from how it is that Paul would view the screen. Quitter's room.
Quitter's.
But can he walk on top of those letters?
Oh.
When I first saw this, I always saw these letters as written in the ground.
Wait a second.
You don't know that. You don't know that they're written in the ground.
What was that just now?
You have this here. This is like this is to like kind of help you presume, right? That there's like a mirror or something, or some kind of transparent pane of glass. But we don't even have confirmation of this. What you have here is a bunch of lines, 2 black squares, and potentially some weird white scaffolding. But regardless of which, we have this perspective. We're able to see in between this slice. We're able to see this weird black in between space that exists between these 2 layers, these 2 rooms that seem to be mirroring one another, but truly don't. Because we see that the mirror image of ourselves on the other side isn't quite so synchronized with our movements. Quitter's room is, I believe, written on a pane of observation glass. You understand? Do you see? Do you see now? Right? You get it? Because this is where I blow your fucking lids. Quitter's room. These letters are meant to read out to an entity in here. They're watching us. We're the real quitters here.
Oh.
Over here, we can't quite get over there. See, there's Quitter and how it is that we would be able to observe them. At first, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I've put so many years of effort into crafting a narrative that I was seeing through this. And suddenly I'm seeing it all. I just look at this long enough and I see the Tarnikop symbol. But we'll get there. Oh man, it's just so much to think about. Listen, there's a reason that this was thought about to be added to the Criterion collection. I don't know, just go ahead and add it so it's like we can go ahead and just state that this is like one of the most excellent pieces of film in history. And I keep pausing it. You guys will probably just have to watch it yourselves. Maybe you already have. Maybe that's how it was that so many people were playing along with me. Oh man, I'm gonna need a dab. I'm gonna need a dab. I'm gonna need a dab. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. How do you like the game jacking pun? I'm game jacking. I know. Oh shit. Let's go. Let's just go ahead and